The desert was silent, except for the faint hiss of shifting sand and the distant echo of gunfire fading behind her. Darkness wrapped the landscape in shadows so thick they felt almost solid, and in that darkness, every heartbeat counted. She lay prone, rifle steady, eyes scanning the impossible horizon. One shot. That was all it would take. But could anyone truly believe it would hit? Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who's listening. Wind swept across the dunes, carrying with it the sharp scent of gunpowder, dust, and something older fear. Her hands were steady, despite the cold, fingers brushing the worn stock of her rifle. Years of discipline had taught her to feel the weapon as an extension of her body, to anticipate, to calculate, to wait. She wasn't just a sniper. She was a legend whispered about in mess halls and training grounds, a woman who had earned every nickname, every tale, every wary glance from the enemy. And yet tonight, legend didn't matter. Only the mission did. Below her, Allied troops had pinned down the enemy, but movement in the distance revealed a single figure, an officer coordinating fire. The key to the opposing force's strategy. Take him out, and the battle ended. Miss, and countless lives would be lost. She remembered the first time someone had told her she couldn't do it, too far, too impossible, too dangerous. She had smiled politely, because those words were meaningless to someone who had survived worse, who had calculated angles that others couldn't even see, who had learned that fear was a tool, not a master. The desert night seemed to pause. Only the subtle twitch of a leaf-like weed in the wind betrayed movement. Her pulse slowed. Each breath was deliberate, her cheek pressed against the cold metal of her scope. She adjusted for wind, distance, humidity, and the slightest tilt of the earth. Every calculation mattered. Every fraction of a degree counted. She thought of the lives depending on her, of the soldiers who trusted her silently, of the families waiting far away. She exhaled slowly and fired. The bullet sang through the night, a whisper of inevitability. It traveled further than most believed possible, bending almost imperceptibly toward the target. Down below, chaos froze. The enemy officer fell, the chain of command collapsing instantly. Soldiers stopped, eyes wide, unsure if what they'd witnessed was real. Murmurs rippled through the ranks. Did she just... Her scope revealed nothing else but the stillness of the battlefield. For a heartbeat, time hung suspended. Then, slowly, Allied forces advanced. The tide had turned. The impossible had been done. Her fellow snipers approached, some hesitant, some awed. None spoke at first, only nodding, understanding that silence carried more weight than words. Even the commanding officer, stern, experienced, often unimpressed, paused as he approached. His gaze met hers, a mix of disbelief and respect. "Incredible," he whispered. "I didn't think it was possible." She lowered her rifle slowly, exhaling. There was no gloating, no triumphant fist pump, just calm. The quiet assertion that skill and preparation had met necessity and succeeded. Later, as the first pale light of dawn touched the dunes, the battlefield looked almost peaceful. The chaos of the night was replaced by quiet dust settling into gentle waves. Soldiers moved among the dunes, checking positions, tending to the wounded, breathing again. She remained atop her perch, rifle now resting at her side, eyes scanning the horizon one last time. She thought about how many times she had been underestimated, told she couldn't reach, couldn't survive, couldn't succeed. And yet here she was, proof that preparation, courage, and precision could bend the rules of possibility. A young soldier approached, hesitant. I can't believe you made that shot." She looked at him, shoulders relaxed, face calm. "Believe it or not, it's not luck," she said. "It's practice. Discipline and trust in what you've learned." Around her, the troops began to move with renewed confidence, inspired not by legend alone, but by the tangible proof of skill. Whispers turned to murmurs of respect, nods, and silent acknowledgement of what had been accomplished. Because kindness doesn't vanish, it waits, and it finds its way back. That night, the battle had seemed unwinnable, impossible. By morning, one shot had ended it, saving lives and proving that focus, skill, and courage can change the course of events in ways no one can predict. If this story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Whispered Words, where quiet legends and heroic acts remind us that the extraordinary often comes from those who wait, watch, and act with unwavering precision.